So why you need this video? So basically, if you open it, high chances that you are my subscriber on Instagram channel, as well as Telegram channel, where I post a lot of information regarding the IT. So my name is Russell or Ruslan, whatever you would prefer. And what I'm doing, I'm software developer engineer for the backend development, as well as Salesforce integration, Salesforce platform. But I tried different fields in IT. I was manual tester, I was automation engineer, I was SDET, I was DevOps engineer for the short period of time. Then I did a transition for the backend development. What I'm doing now, since I did it within it will be 5 years already, I help many people to find a job because I know what bootcamp is, what is to find your first job, how it's a really challenging and difficult process, and I'm trying to help. Long story short, this video, exactly this session, will help for the people who are in two categories. The first category are the people who are coming from bootcamp and their resume looks exactly the same as all other students. Their stack is really limited and it's exactly the same as others. So they need something to be unique, to be better than others. And second unit of people, it's the people who already are working, who are already doing their automations, but they feel in stagnation. Maybe they want to learn something new and modern. And probably what can be helpful for you. So that's pretty much. And I have two categories. One side, it's the people who are actually coming with the web-based application tool as a Selenium. And the second group of people, they're coming with Cypress. Main difference is that Cypress, it's only JavaScript, not JS. And advantage of it, we can discuss if you want. Let me know in the comment section, I will let you know. And the people who are coming with the Selenium, it's another big group of people because it's really big framework. It's pretty old, more than 10 years on the market so far, and it's free tool. Cypress has some limitations in terms of languages since it's only JavaScript and it's not free tool. Then we come into the reports and some sort of executions. But my point is not even about that. We're not going to compare the tool. What I want to give, it's a tutorial, like a free tool. It's called Playwright. And funny fact that engineers from who were created the Cypress, they came to Microsoft. I guess they were hunted by Microsoft, and they created that framework, which is called Playwright. Sounds good, right? Excited. Now, okay, let's come back to the tutorial, right? Let's discuss more specifics because what I'm giving you now, maybe it seems like a water. Let's discuss it closely. Okay, so what do I want to show you? It's like this page. You can find this information actually just by Googling, you will find it. But what is important to know here is just compare those two tools. I will leave this link below in the comment section, you can find it. So that's what you're actually learning at school, right? Like the Selenium, WebDriver, you build in your page factory, you have your properties files, read for them, locate elements, click on that, this and that. That's what you're actually learning at school. You will read it online, I guess, without my help. But what do I want to tell you? Thing is, then we're talking about Selenium. It's about translation. It based on WebDriver, which means based on API calls, the certain protocol. So which means if web-based page, not even if web-based page like built on the not only HTML, CSS, it's JavaScript based on JavaScript. It's doing the call HTTPS call like hey do this then that in Selenium, right? For example, your framework written in Java, then it translates this JavaScript to actually Java, and then some actions are performed. That's the way Selenium works. About the benefits of Selenium, it's not a secret. It's not a secret. It's possible to do parallel execution, cross-browsing support, integrate Appium there and do mobile testing, languages support whatever you want, headless head mode, and so on and so on. I guess you know even better than me. When we are talking about the Playwright, it can do the same things basically, but what is the most important about it, for me personally, you don't care about synchronization issues. One of the most popular interview question and one of the most big challenges for the people who are using Selenium, it's synchronization. Basically, those methods like implicit, explicit wait, then you're waiting for clickability, visibility of the certain element, and you're always trying to handle that, and it's really a big headache, like fluent waits. So in Playwright, this problem doesn't exist, and the reason for that, it's pretty much simple. Under the hood, automatically it handles all synchronization issues. Sounds good, right? Another thing is, besides after waiting, it's used Chromium, not WebDriver. Basically, it's not HTTPS API protocol, and this calls for the certain page element to the page. It's actually established the WebSocket connection, which always open and which makes this framework super fast. Real life example. In our company, we were using Selenium and still using, and we, I think, are going to use Selenium because our QA teams, they basically build all the regression already there. But some teams who are new and they just started automating something, we're trying to make them to use Playwright. The reason for that, the time which it takes to Playwright to run the regression extremely faster. Real life example is to run the regression by using Selenium with the same pipeline, same environment, same resources, same EC2 machines, taking like 5 hours. With Playwright, it's 3 times less. Sometimes even 5 times less, depending on the number of test cases are running. So besides the speed, besides the synchronization issues, it supports such a thing as a browser context. So basically authorization cookies will be handled for you. Also, you can actually open your browse context and open in the new tab, the new page, and use it. So you basically can store all the cookies, all the credentials. It's super powerful and comfortable. So that's about the generic differences between them. Here you can actually compare them by the browser support, by the language support. Disadvantages. What I don't like about Playwright, it's still new tool, not even 3 years old, and the community is pretty small, and there are some challenges. Because if you meet a problem with Selenium framework, if you go on the Stack Overflow, our the best friend, or ChatGPT, you always can find a solution there. But the for Playwright, sometimes to find the documentation and certain solutions for the certain problems, it's a little bit challenging. Go in there. So what we can actually see here, the documentation of Playwright is pretty good. So first of all, when we go to the docs, you need to decide in advance with which language you want to go. So there are certain number of languages which Playwright supports currently. It's Node.js, JavaScript, .NET, Java, and Python. TypeScript, I mean, yeah. So all of these languages are supported. Some limitations with Java I found. Some methods are not available there. Some problems with the screen recordings and screenshots I found there. With the Python, no problem I found, Node.js as well as the TypeScript. To start working that, before anything else, you need to install, let's say if we go with Node.js, right? So we need to install the language and supportive libraries. If you go with the Java, you need to install Java. If you go with Python, people install Python. So let's cover everything from the scratch. Let's say you have clean machine, nothing has installed, right? Let's start with installation of your language. Let's say from the beginning. Let's assume it's empty machine, your macOS. For the Windows processes will be similar though, and you know nothing how to install it. Let's assume. Very first step, what you would do, you will take your browser and you will Google how to install Node.js, right? How to install Node.js, right? We open this page and what we can see here, I guess NVM is a popular way to install JS, blah blah blah. Download. Okay. macOS installer, Node.js. Download. Boom, 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 boom. It's downloaded. Okay. Continue next. Read the license. We will read it later. Install. Password. Install software. Now it's installing. For you it will be one click. Close. Move to trash. Okay, looks like it should be installed. Let's check again. Let's open the terminal. Okay. Node -v, maybe space. Yeah, victory. So by this command in your terminal, you can verify that your version is installed. Okay, very first step is done. We installed JavaScript on our machine. Congratulations. I was waiting for this feature in macOS for a long time. Now, where we will write our code? There are several options. I will go with the most popular IDE. What is IDE? It's basically the environment where you work with your code, right? It's even say like integration development environment. Basically, it's a tool where you can write your code. It's organized in a certain way and it's comfortable to use. But already, right? But you can go like that, the same process. You will manage. I believe in you. It's the same way. Next, next, next. It will be installed. Okay, let's even try. I will go with you. Blah blah blah. Download. macOS. Boom. 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 Now it's installed. Let's write VS Code. Or it's installed in my download folder if I'm not mistaken. Let me see where I installed it. Downloads, Visual Studio Code, and it's here. You see? This is my tutorial to Python, so please stay tuned. Okay, let's start with a new project, right? Just go and create the folder on your Mac and call it Playwright. Any location you would prefer. You can decide the place where to put it. Let's call it Playwright. Now we have our folder. Now just here now in the VS Code, go File, Open, and open that folder which you just created. Okay, yes, trust authors. Basically just empty folder with no information inside. Okay, it's a third step is done. Now coming back to our documentation, right? Let me open Playwright documentation. Getting started. We choose Node.js, we will use TypeScript basically. Installation. Basically, they're saying here that it can be installed. It's explaining you how to install, what needs to install, how to start to install, and it's giving you even the commands which to use. Since we are using as VS Code, we don't need to open new terminal. We can do it inside of VS Code, and we created the folder which is called Playwright, where to store our files, dependencies, and manage all the folders there. So we just click here to copy that command. So what it will do, it will generate it will pull all Chromium, all dependencies, whatever we'll need to run this Playwright framework, correct? So now as soon as you have this Playwright folder, you need to open the new terminal. Okay, so you click here terminal, new terminal, and this is your new terminal is opened, right? And here we locate it in this folder. That's how we can understand it. If you're not sure where you're located, you always can type pwd and click enter, and it will show you exactly where you're located. Now, as soon as you have your folder is opened, your next step, you will copy this command npm initiate playwright, right? You click here the latest. Now okay, would you like to proceed? Yes, enter. Now it's a crucial thing. It's asking us, which language would you prefer to use, JavaScript or TypeScript? I would recommend you to use whatever you want. There is no recommendation, probably, to be transparent with you. It's all about what would you prefer, what you're familiar with. You can use Java, Node.js, TypeScript. Advantage of TypeScript, that it's become object-oriented and keep the same functionalities, like functional way of functional programming, not be dedicated around the object, about the JavaScript. That is advantage of it. From the testing perspective in the framework, not much difference, but whatever you decide, guys. Why I'm saying it's not so important at this point, because the same functionality is available in the same languages, whatever you choose. Let's go with the TypeScript this time. But if you want, you can try with Java, or I can show you the Java. By the way, actually, I already built one Java framework. Let me show you guys. So what I'm talking about, this is my repo. You're always welcome here. And if you're interested in the same framework in Playwright, I make it for free, so please use. This one I built in Java 6 months ago. If you want to take it, I don't mind. Here under the master you can write all the code I built in Java. So if you want, please use. Also, I added here KT sessions, one of our Indian colleagues. It's super powerful and useful. Please use if you want it in Java. And you use Maven as a main tool, building tool, so you will be familiar with that. It's pretty straightforward. So if you want it in Java, you can pull it from here. I will leave it down there in the comment section. Here we have it for newcomers, and let's try it in a new language. Let's try in the TypeScript, where to put tests in tests, add GitHub action workflow, false, install browsers, yes. And now it will install to our machine. We can see that it's pulling all Chromium instance here. Besides it's Safari for the Mac, and also we can write it besides the instance, we can specify the browser, because Chromium based browsers like Chrome and Firefox also available here. And as we can see, the update is successful, run is successful, everything ready to work. And now when we can see here, the project already generated for us. So it's already available here. It's already built for us, which is fun, right? What is the next step, right? What is the next step as soon as we created our project? Okay, let's follow the documentation. As soon as we created and generated everything here, it's automatically from the demo perspective created the test for us, just as an example. And also it's actually created for us a config file. The same as in Selenium, you would call it property file. So where is specified everything, the browsers, the tool which to run, how to run, what needs to be run, what is time exception period, all the settings, devices, CLI processes, everything set it up in the config file. Okay, let's come back to the documentation. How to run tests. The easiest way is just to run this command npx run tests. This is one way to do it, which is shown in documentation. Let me run through their way and then I will show you the way which you can integrate in your IDE. So first of all, you just copy that command, enter it here and click enter. And now our tests are running. All of them are passed. Now if you want to see report, it will show you the reports this way. Has title, before hooks, after hooks, all passed, no issues, get started the link WebKit. Now probably you curious, but what actually happened? We see nothing, just something happened. We want to see UI, we want to see the beauty of it. Of course, you can specify test the same way, but just add UI word after it. Let's close this session, Command C, right? And now we will run it with the UI. We click run tests. All of them are passed. So basically it runs super fast, that's why your eye couldn't catch it. So basically it's go to the Playwright page, picked up the exact URL name, title name, went to the page, checked the all elements and started link, and also went to this word, and it was checking go to page, find this certain locator, and it can specify which locator you're talking about, checked all the hooks, which is nice, right? Okay, now for example, if you don't want to use terminal, you always can go to plugin, type here Playwright, and you install your Playwright plugins right here. Playwright test for VS Code. It will generate the additional icons where can you specify your tests, run them without the command. So basically, as soon as this plugin installed, you don't need to use terminal commands. You can just simply go testing and run all the tests you want by the one click. That's it, and your test is done. Super fun, right? Okay guys, if you enjoyed this session, if you want me to cover more about it and continue developing this framework and build it together with you, please give me feedback below and I will go dive deep into this, right? And I will show you more. For example, in this testing feature, you can do it with the show browser and you click enter. Now it will run it with the browser and it run all the tests. Boom, done. So please, if you like it, please put a like. Please subscribe. Really much appreciated. Waiting for you for the next session.